What is the worst game of 40k I have played? I answer this and more in this month's Q&A. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, time for another Q&A where I answer all of your questions from last month's video. Before that though, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so before I answer your questions, I have a question for you. My question is, when the new Necron Codex comes out, do you think we will have more models or units than the current one which we know about, the new Cryptic? If you would like to answer that question in the comments box below, that would be great. And whilst you're there, if you'd like to ask me a question for next month's Q&A, that would be awesome too. Okay, let's have a look at the first question. Okay, so the first question is from Michael Greaves, and he asks me, what do you think the new £90 box game that's going to come out later in the year? For example, the Talons of the Empire box. My money is on the Plastic Sisters and Necrons, or Plastic Sisters and Emperor's Children. One of those two would be great. Haha. Okay, well, I didn't actually know there was a new box set coming later in the year, to be fair. Do I think Necrons are going to be in it? I have to be honest, no. No, not at all. Plastic Sisters, there is a possibility. I mean, GW in their sort of recent videos have sort of been taking the mickey out of themselves regarding Plastic Sisters. I think at some point they are going to happen, so you never know, could be them. Emperor's Children, again, GW don't seem to be giving much love to Emperor's Children, so again I very much doubt they will be in the new box sets. I think it will probably just be one form of a Marine, I don't know, Imperial Fist or something, and then probably maybe Plastic Sisters, if that does ever happen. We'll find out, won't we, I suppose. Okay, so let's have a look at the next question. Okay, so the next question is from Warforge, and he says, what do you think about the new Star Trek film that Quentin Tarantino is involved in? That is another good question. So yeah, I heard this not that long ago actually. I know nothing else about the new Star Trek film. This is the first thing that I've heard about it. He's a good director, isn't he? And I believe he is a Star Trek fan as well, so I'm sure he'll do it justice. To be fair, as long as there's a new Star Trek film coming, then I'm happy, really, regardless. So, but yeah, I think he'll make a good job of it. I mean, you know, he's made some fantastic films over the years. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. Right, okay, so let's have a look at the next question. That's from Super Wargamer. And he says, if you had the chance to have a pet Tyranid Ripper, would you have one, and why? No, I wouldn't have one. Why would I want a pet Ripper Swarm? No, I don't actually have any pets at all. I like animals. I've had a dog in the past, I've had a cat in the past, hamster, cockatiel, a few other bits and pieces, a few other animals. But yeah, that was more when I was younger, and also when I lived at home with my parents. Yeah, over the last 12 years I haven't had a pet, and I like it that way, just because it makes life easier. You don't have to get up to a meowing cat, or you've got to walk the dog. So yeah, it's hassle-free not having any pets, and I quite like it that way. But I do like animals, but yeah, definitely I wouldn't want to own a pet Ripper Swarm. No. Maybe a scarab though, that'd be cool. Yeah, pet scarab. Thanks for the question, Super Wargamer. Okay, next question is from Basic Miniature Painting, and he says, we all know the 4 Chaos Guards, but if you could have a 5th Chaos Guard, who would it be and why? Very interesting question. I saw Richard from the Nerd Life answer this question on his Q&A, but I had to think about this actually, and the only thing that I could come up with was, this might sound a bit weird, but it's the only thing I could come up with. I think a Chaos Guard of good. A guard that tries to unify the other 4 Chaos Guards. It's like the goody two-shoes of Chaos. Yeah. The Guard of good. How about that? That's my answer. Thanks for the question, good question. Right, next is from Brady Hickman, and he says, if another Primarch falls to Chaos, who would it be and to which Chaos Guard? Okay, Brady, thank you very much for the question. You probably are unaware, I'm really not a fluff bunny at all. I don't really know too much about the Primarchs. I don't really have a clue how to answer that question, I'm so sorry. I do appreciate the question, but I cannot answer it, unfortunately. Okay. The next question though is from the Gibsons, and he says, do you plan to go to any conventions or tournaments this year? We are hopefully going to meet up with Josie from Green Stuff Games this year and was wondering if you had any plans like that. Great question, thank you. Yeah, I'd love to be able to, but the answer is no. I'm not going to Salute. I have been a couple of times, and whilst I enjoyed it, there really isn't too much there for me. You probably know by now, judging from the channel, I don't really buy that much new stuff really. I keep up to date with the codexes as much as I can. I'm not tempted by all the new toys that are coming out, and I have a lot of models and stuff to be doing with and to paint already. So of course I will be getting the new Necron stuff when it comes out, but yeah, I don't really spend much money on models and stuff really nowadays, so probably that's one reason why I wouldn't go. I'd love to go just to meet people, but then I think I'd maybe try and do that in a different area, a different event than Salute. Wargames, of course, their tournament, I did miss the Last Chance Open. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to go to the next one. I can't remember what it's called now. Got the Last Chance Open, and then what's the other one called? Can't remember because I haven't been there. Northwest Open. Yeah, Northwest Open, which I haven't been to the Northwest Open yet, but hopefully, maybe I might be able to go to that. I'll have to see my circumstances, whether they allow it, because I do work at the weekend, so it depends what weekend it is. But that's about it really, no other plans. So thanks for the question. Next is from DZ Saber, and he says, do you make New Year's resolutions and take them seriously? Keeping it light, and the second question, let's do the first one then. Do I make New Year's resolutions and do I take them seriously? Not really, to be fair. I don't really make resolutions. Like everyone, January the 1st comes and you think, yeah, I need to probably lose a couple of pounds, and you start your diet, and that lasts about a day. Especially in my job, because we've got one of our customers who comes in at least 2 or 3 times a week, and he brings 10 donuts like every time he comes in. So my diet is usually a donut diet. Yeah. So yeah, no, not really. I don't really have resolutions like that. I mean, I have obviously my painting challenge and stuff. That's not really a resolution. So no, I don't really have any resolutions. Next question from you was, keeping it light and in the gaming realm, what are you hoping for in 2018? What am I hoping for? I'm hoping for a Necron Codex, of course. Oh, go on, let's put it in there. Necrons! Yeah, hoping for the Necron Codex, and that's all really I'm hoping for, to be fair. I'm not really hoping for anything more than that, really, to be fair. Give me my Necron Codex, I'll be happy. Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question. Next question is from Mini Warzone, from Pete. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers again. Fantastic to see that. Right, so his question was, I am going to ask if you have seen Star Wars The Last Jedi yet, and what are your thoughts on it? Thank you, Pete, for this question. Thank you, because I've seen a lot of reviews on Star Wars, including Pete's one, and yeah, didn't it get a lot of hate, Star Wars? I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and I just don't quite get where people were coming from, where they didn't like it. I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Had Luke Skywalker in there, Rey. Everyone's like moaning about her character. I think she's brilliant. I really like her. I like the way she talks, and I like just she has that mysterious feel about her. Like, you want to find out more, but just like in most Jedis, you don't really find out that much more about her. I think she's a very intriguing character, and I love seeing her doing all lightsaber stuff and that. I think she's a really good character. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the film. I know there's a few things in there that people are saying, like, oh, in space, you know, they right at the beginning when they were dropping the bombs, and like the bombs like went down as if there was gravity in space, and so, oh, that wouldn't happen. But this is in a galaxy a long time ago and far, far away. It's just out of our realm. It's fantasy, it's sci-fi. You've got to have that you just got to switch off from what you know and love. And it's like watching James Bond. You know, you watch James Bond with all the action scenes. So it's impossible things happen. Do you remember that one when he was on his motorcycle and he went off the cliff, and then he jumped off the motorcycle and like air, whatever it's called in the sky, skydiving, all the way into an aeroplane, got into the aeroplane, then ridiculous. But it's going to be ridiculous. It's James Bond, so you switch off to that and you just watch it for what it is. And that's what you have to do with science fiction or anything that's not reality. You've got to switch off and let your mind drift away and just believe. I liked it. I really liked it, to be fair. I've liked all the Star Wars films. I liked the Phantom Menace. I mean, Phantom Menace, fantastic, really good film. I liked the the Attack of the Clones. I thought that was awesome film. That was my favourite one. And then Revenge of the Sith, is it? That was fantastic. That was brilliant. I don't know, all the hate. I hate it. Oh, I actually like Jar Jar Binks. There you go. I said it. Jar Jar Binks was a cool character. I just don't get all the hate for Star Wars. So, a bit like you, Pete, I'm going to try and stop rambling, because I could sit here for hours talking about Star Wars and how much I like it. But yeah, I was very surprised, let's put it this way, that people didn't really like it that much. But I personally thought it was fantastic, and I cannot wait to see the next one. I assume there is going to be a next one. I certainly hope so. Yeah. Okay, there you go. That's my answer, Pete. Thank you for your question. Star Wars! Yes, I love it. Okay, right. I do like Star Trek, of course, more. Of course. I do love Star Trek as well. So many fond childhood memories. I was 5 when it came out. I'm not going to keep talking. I'm looking at the microphone now. I did that last Q&A. Yeah, I was 5 when Star Wars came out. Yes. Had all the figures. Sold them all for £1 each when I was about 16 to get a stupid record player. Well, I say, oh, that would have been a fortune now. Yeah, so many fun memories. I mean, I've seen Star Wars A New Hope over 200 times. Yeah. Anyway, that's the next question. Next question is from Lord17C. He says, with the new year coming, do you have any resolutions for physical fitness or health? I really love the gaming community and want to help keep it around. Some of us, myself included, are losing the battle of the bulge. How can we get the community up and moving? I think you might struggle to get the community up and moving, to be fair. I think I've seen somebody else try to do that previously, and didn't really work. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? I think you're either motivated to do it or you're not, basically. Yeah. I think you might struggle. Yeah, I wouldn't probably bother. Just concentrate on yourself. Okay, next question is from Andreas Peach, and he says, why are the Glotkin brothers the cutest things in all of Warhammer? I had to Google it, and I've got a hint here that the Glotkin brothers are something Nurgle based, which I hadn't heard of them before. I don't know why they're the cutest. Are they the cutest? Surely not. Haven't we discussed this already? The Necron Scarab is the cutest thing in Warhammer 40k. Surely. Yes. Next question is from Death Corpse Commissar, and he says, what is the worst games of 40k you've ever played? Thank you for the question. Of course, I pre-read these questions. I had a little think about this one because it was quite a hard question. The conclusion was there was one game that I had. It was Eldar versus Blood Angels, of course. Who else? And this was, I was fairly new to Eldar at the time, and we deployed. My buddy went first, and I pretty much lost the entire army turn one. And we looked at each other and said, should we start again? So we just packed up. Well, I didn't pack up, but we just redeployed and we started again. Funny enough, the second game went all 5 turns, and it was a close game. I can't remember who won it the second game, but so that's the worst game I've had, just because it wasn't really a game. So yeah, that's probably the worst game that I've had. That was quite a number of years ago. Okay, so next question is from Big Mech Dan Skull, and he says, it's sometime in the future and YouTube is going to stop the uploading of new videos. You are selected in a random draw to be the person who uploads the final ever video. Would you honour one of your existing video series or create something completely new and original? That is a very good question, Big Mac. Thank you for that. So, I have been selected. Okay, so from the question here, my videos wouldn't disappear. So all the channels will be there. It would just be like the last video, and then YouTube will be there, but nobody will upload videos. So potentially, what I would do is this possible? Do a continuous live stream forever? Yeah, couldn't we just have a live stream, just like going forever? This is the last video, YouTube, it's going to be live, and I'm going to have the camera on forever. No. What would I do? Okay, well, funny enough, and this might sound a bit odd, and I'll be very interested to know actually if anyone else has thought about this. I've always thought about the end of IDICBeer 40k. How would IDICBeer 40k end on YouTube? So I suppose this is sort of related to your question. So I've been thinking about this. So I'm planning on running my YouTube channel until I'm old and wrinkly. And then I was thinking, like, if I pass away, if I die, my channel's just gonna don't stop suddenly. I wouldn't like that. I'd like to be able to say goodbye. So what I was thinking of doing was pre-recording a goodbye video, so when I die I can have it like tell my children or whatever, you know, oh, when I go, can you upload that video for me? And then it uploads to YouTube and it's like, oh, farewell, you know, thank you for all the support, blah blah blah. You know, it's a close out the channel, like a closure of the channel. Yeah, Has anyone else thought about that, or am I just crazy? Yeah. Okay, that's my question. That's my answer. That's my answer. Yeah. Sort of answers it, doesn't it? Okay, so now we've got a fun quickfire set of questions from Victor Quest. Thank you, Victor, for these questions. So, fast questions. Choose one. Painting or playing? Painting. Playing? A long time ago. Now, I prefer painting. Painting or converting? That's hard. I enjoy both very much. And doing a conversion for me is fantastic and really enjoyable, but unless I paint it as well, then it's sort of unfinished. So I'm going to stick with painting. Ultramarines or Blood Angels? Who cares? No. Ultramarines or Blood Angels? Do I really have to choose? It's hardly quick fire, is it? I don't say Blood Angels, do I? But then Ultramarines, really? No, I'm gonna refuse to answer that one. All I'm gonna say is Necrons. Okay, right. Magnus or Gudeman? Magnus, because he's more of a monstrous creature, Xenos type thing. Tesla or Gauss? 100% Gauss. I mean, Gauss is the Necron gun. I'd be quite happy if Tesla just didn't exist. Get rid of Tesla. Or Necron guns, Gauss. That's all we need. Nightbringer or Deceiver. Had a lot of fun with the Nightbringer over the years when he was mega powerful. But the Deceiver, because his rules are cool. Nurgle or Zench? Definitely Nurgle. I'm not quite into Zench so much, the psychic powers and things. So Nurgle for me. Black or white? Black or white? Black. Yeah, it's got to be black because I'm quite messy, and whenever I have a white t-shirt, after about 10 minutes of having it on, it's got like chocolate down or coffee stains or whatever. Okay, so Data or Worf? Data, it's got to be Data. I like Worf. I like his stories, very interesting, but I think Data's just more, it's more of a fun character. Star Trek or 40k? Whilst I absolutely love Star Trek, 40k is my #1 thing in life. Half empty or half full? Okay, I am a positive person. I am not a pessimistic person. However, in my view, the glass is always half empty. And the reason for that is a glass is empty until you put something in it. So you pour something in it, then it's half full. I don't know, that doesn't explain that, does it? I'm not pessimistic, but for me, when I look at that, it's half empty. If it was full, it's half empty. How can it be half full? You've got full, it's not half full, it's half empty, surely. Okay, that's a ridiculous answer. I might edit that out. Should I edit that out? Okay, half empty or half full? I'm going to say half empty. Not because I'm a pessimistic first person, but just because it seems right to me. Right, pizza or hamburger? Pizza. I do like a good pizza. I do like a good hamburger, but pizza. Coke or beer? I don't really drink either of them, to be fair, but I'm going to say Coke. I usually drink Diet Coke, to be fair. I hope it was fun. It was fun. Thank you, Victor, for that. Thank you very much. Okay, next question is from HA Minigamer, and he says, hopefully a memory lane question. Dandy or Beano? I think it was Dandy that I used to like more. Is that the one with Desperate Dan? Pretty sure it was. I wasn't really into the comics that much. No. I had, was it Action Force? I used to be into Action Force. I used to have their comic, but Dandy, I think, was the more I was drawn towards more than Beano. Next question is from Daniel Grant, and he says, as a child, what would you normally put into your pick and mix? Bring back Woolworths. Yeah, Woolworths. I was gutted when they went. Luckily we got Wilkinsons. They're not quite as good as Woolworths, but they're pretty decent. Pick and mix. I never really had pick and mix, to be fair. We never really had it. My mum used to go shopping. I used to get 3 things every time she went shopping. Well, you know, the weekly shop. I used to get a pack of crisps, a chocolate bar, and a pack of sweets, and that was my thing. I never really did pick a mix, to be fair. Okay, so the next question is from Mr. Mini Dreams. This was a question that he asked in one of his videos. If you haven't checked his channel out, definitely check it out. I'm really enjoying his content because this guy has been into scale model making for a very long time, and now he's doing miniature painting. He doesn't play the game or anything, but he's just fancied a change and he's doing some miniature painting, and he's making a fantastic job on his minis. And he's asked a question in there. So his question was, at what stage did you decide to start a new army? Or your second army? So my first army was Necrons, as you know, and I got a new army about 2 years after that, my Space Wolves. I went for Space Wolves. There's several reasons really. The Necrons were quite static and quite shooty, and the IDIC Codex came out. My buddy was playing Emperor's Children at the time, and then when the IDIC Codex came out, he went and did The Lost and Damned from that book, and he encouraged me to do a second army, and I went for the Space Wolves from that Codex. The main reason I chose the Space Wolves was because of the Venrisian Wolves. I thought, well, that's cool, a Space Marine army with Venrisian Wolves. And of course they were very close combat orientated then, especially the Eye of Terror one. There wasn't much shooting, heavy support, you only had long fangs, and then you had bikes but they had no vehicles, so it was really heavy, close combat orientated, and that was totally different from a Necrons. So that is why I chose that army, and I actually decided to do that army. All of my other armies since then have just been happenstance. Like Tyranids was because I bought them cheap off a buddy. Eldar was because I went past a charity shop window and saw some Eldar models, picked those up. The Dark Eldar project was because of a challenge, £25 army challenge. I got 2,200 points for £50. And then the Chaos ones, which are on my desk right in front of me that you can't see, they were because I've got all of those models from my subscribers and all the models that I won, so I decided to start a Chaos army. So that's all the armies. So yeah, that's the answer. Okay, so that actually is the last question. So if you have a question that you would like to ask me, then pop it down in the comments box and I'll answer it in the next Q&A. Beam me up.